Hello, my little angels. Welcome back to Bible study. Yes, we're doing Bible study. No, I'm just kidding. I think we left off on page 8 from the first video. If you didn't see it, you can go and check that one out. So I'm not a religious person. Disclaimer, I'm not religious. I was raised Catholic though, and I did all my stuff, like my first communion and stuff like that, but I'm no longer religious. I am spiritual. I believe in a higher power and everything like that. And I even pray to my angels and all that, but I'm not religious. So I'm just going through the Bible now to dissect it. And we are looking for hidden knowledge, okay? I do like to say a prayer or affirmations before I start reading. You can use mine or you can use your own. Here's an example of what you can say. You can screenshot it or pause with my face not on it if you want to, but I recommend that you make your own little guide. Okay, let's get started. We are gonna start on page precious page 8 where we left off, and we're just gonna go through my highlights and all of that. We left off at a really good part, the covenant. Okay, covenant with Solomon agreement between God and humanity, and it's binding. Okay, so binding means terms and conditions may apply. Abrahamic faith. I looked up like the word binding, I think. Hi. So yeah, look up the words, they have meanings. God establishes a covenant with all that were in the ark and their descendants. Again, vows to never flood the earth again. Okay. Rainbow. Oh, there's we're gonna talk about the rainbow in a minute, but let me not get ahead of myself. Okay, yeah, here. This is the Old Testament. Obviously, here it is. Here's where I'm gonna start about the rainbow. We are on Genesis 9:8-16, line 16 right here. Okay, so the covenant has been drawn, and this is the sign. The sign, I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. That's the Lord speaking, supposedly. Here's another highlighted area that we're going to pay attention to. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of kind on the earth. So God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant I have established between me and all life on earth. Okay, and after that we go into the sons of Noah, but first we're going to read the symbolism of rainbows. We also have a goddess in Greek mythology, the goddess Iris, which just happens to be my first name given to me at birth. But anyways, fun fact. Rainbows symbolize a connection between human and spiritual realms. So this is something that has been in many different cultures, not just the Bible. Okay, or earth and the divine. In other cultures, it is associated with gods of the weather, like Kuza's bow. Sorry if I mispronounce it. Indra's bow, or Indra Yadua. The colors of the rainbow are limited to the energy centers of the body, like called the chakras. Sorry, my cat. She's a kitten and she's still learning. She's being a little mischievous right now. So yeah, those are the rainbow symbolisms. And of course, the goddess Iris, which I just learned about recently. She was a messenger between the gods in Greek mythology. So that's pretty cool. And her symbol is the rainbow too. So that's pretty cool. I actually have a rainbow on my kitchen window. Like a plastic vintage thing with rainbow and butterflies, and yeah, I found that. I thrifted that like last year, maybe a year before that. Anyway, then we move on to the sons of Noah. Okay, so I did underline some stuff because it gets a little bit interesting here. I'm going to read the underlining. But yeah, it's just sons of Noah. It's right here. If you have your Bible, which you should. So you know I'm not lying. When he drank some of it, did it move? I know, I'm sorry. I'll find a better place for you guys next time. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and he lay uncovered inside his tent. Who are we talking about? Son of Noah. The son of Noah who came out of Ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. There were 3 sons of Noah. Oh, I think Noah's the father, so he's the one that gets drunk. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness and told his 2 brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulder. They walked in backward and covered their father's nakedness. I'm just going to keep reading. Their faces were turned another way so that they would not see father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves will he be to his brothers." Okay, and Canaan did not do that by himself, but he's cursing Canaan only for some reason, which I don't understand. But a lot of things don't make sense, so let's just keep going. He also said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem. May Canaan be the slave of Shem. May God extend the territory of Japheth. May Japheth live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his slave." That's horrible, isn't it? After the flood, Noah lived 350 years altogether. Noah lived 950 years, and then he died. Now we move on to the tables of nations, which is just a whole lot of names that I can't remember. Then we move on to the Hamites. Am I pronouncing that wrong? Probably. Cush was the father, and yeah, we just go through all the sons and stuff and the land that they inherit through the Lord and not through blood and murder. They inherit the land. Mizram was the father of Ludites. I'm probably mispronouncing that. I apologize. Canaan was the father of Sidon, his firstborn. Later, the Canaanite clans scattered and bordered of Canaan reached Sidon toward Gerar and as far as Gaza. Oh, so Canaan reached Sidon. Okay, so yeah, I guess the curse of Noah didn't really matter because Canaan goes off and has his own family and he spreads through the territory, whatever. Anyway, let's get to a more interesting part. So, the sons of Noah. Noah gets drunk, naked, and his sons cover him. And when he wakes up, he curses Canaan to be a slave to his uncles. I don't know why, that's what I wrote. Injustice everywhere. Revolution. I saw this video on Instagram that was like, reasons to have a revolution today. And there's so many. Even back then, in these ancient times, there's cause for revolution. So we go into the tables of the nations. I'm going to read really quickly. The sons of Noah go on to have families that turn to clans, and they spread out their territory within their nation, each with their own language. They only mention Noah's sons and their sons, but what did they do with the daughters? Question mark. That's what I wrote. Then we move on to page 9. Yeah, we're on page 9. The Tower of Babel. Is it Babel or Babel? Babel? I don't know. Who cares? Number 11. Now the whole world spoke one language. Okay. Inconsistency or skipped timelines? Question mark. Because before it was different languages when they separated to different lands. Okay, the uncles and brothers of Noah. But now it's after in the Tower of Babel. Now the whole world had one language. I'm quoting the book here, and common speech, and a common speech. As men moved eastward. They found a plain in Shinar and settled there. Let's see what I wrote. So yeah, there's some inconsistencies there, or a different timeline we just skipped. I don't know. It doesn't say. There's time has passed. Mankind tried to build a tower that will reach heaven, but they or God, because it's often when the Lord or God speaks, it says let us, so there's more than one being that is doing this. Stops them by spreading them. Oh yeah, he spreads them across the world and gives them different languages again. So then God or the Lord of this Bible, he punishes them for trying to reach heaven. And he gives them different languages, which we still have now, so that we will misunderstand each other and fight and argue, and it causes division, just like with religion is still doing today, race and politics. It's just about divide and conquer, I guess. Even back then, God was doing it, which God sounds a lot like a man if you really think about it, not like a divine being at all, in my opinion. So then I say, why would God want to confuse humanity? Divide and conquer? ? Yes, definitely. Okay, from Shem to Abram. Then we move on to Shem and Abram. Oh, hold on. The Tower of Babel, line number 7. It says, underlined here, come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other. And that's in quotation marks from the Lord of the Bible. Okay? Just in case you want to say, he did not want to confuse us. Blah, 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 blah. I'm in a cult. Alright, I have little tolerance right now. Mars is in Libra. Thank heavens. I am a Libra. If you didn't know, I have my Sun, Mars, and Mercury in Libra. Not that that matters, but let's see if we can not make this video too long. Oh, so sorry. Page 10, Genesis 11:12. What else have we written? What else? Okay. From Shem to Abram. What's that, page 12? The sons of Noah has many sons, daughters, till we get to Abram. Tehan guides his son Abram, his grandson Lot, and his daughter-in-law Sarai. That's the only female they have mentioned by name so far, I think. Maybe the second. To Ur, or Ur. U-R. This is how we text your now. So your. Of Chaldeans to go to Canaan, but they settle in Haran. Terah dies in Haran at age 205. The Call of Abram, page 10. Let me read some underlined words before we get to the Call of Abram. This is line 29. Abram and Nahor both married. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing their names. This is not my native language. The name of Abram's wife is Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife is Milcah. See, there's another female, finally. Now Sarai was barren. Sarai was barren. She can't have children. She had no children. Terah took his son, Abram, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son, Abram, and together they set out from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Terah lived 250 years, and he died in Haran. Okay, now we move to the Call of Abram. And this part has a really great, if you want to look in your book, this one has a really great, right here, affirmation, or words you can say for prayer. You could call it magic, you can call it prayer, it doesn't matter, same thing, different word, you know, don't get caught up in words too much. Okay, it's all about intention and intention and how something makes you feel. So the Lord had said to Abram, leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. Here in quotes, this is something you could say in the mirror and you can edit this and revise it if you want. But here it goes. It says, I will make you into a great nation. and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be blessing. You will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all people on earth will be blessed through you. This is a great affirmation, great mirror magic, alchemy. You can call it so many things. Witchcraft. It's in the Bible too. So yeah, you could definitely use this little part right here. You can put your name into it. This will bring, I think this will be great for fame, recognition, because it's the whole world and stuff like that. Just a little tip. But yeah, he's saying this to Abram. Let's move on down to the Canaanites were then in the land, but the Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your offspring I will give this land. So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him, Abram. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. Then Abram set out and continued toward Negev. Abram in Egypt. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife. Pay attention. Then they will kill me, but will let you live. Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you. This is Abram talking to his wife. Okay, he's gonna sell his wife to the leader here in Egypt. So yeah, so the Egyptians saw that she was a very beautiful woman, and when the Pharaoh, oh my god, I keep forgetting how to, Pharaoh, I'm so dumb. I literally forgot how to pronounce his name. It's like the king of that time. Pharaoh. The Pharaoh. It's spelled so stupidly that it doesn't even sound like, it doesn't look like how it's supposed to sound. The Pharaoh, Pharaoh. Pharaoh. You could just use an F. The Pharaoh official saw her. They praised her. The Pharaoh saw, and she was taken into his palace. Abram's wife was taken by the Pharaoh because Abram told her to lie and said that was his sister, not his wife. Okay, so the Pharaoh didn't even know, because Abram wanted her to lie to save his life, and he didn't even know for sure if they were going to take his life. But anyways, I digress. But the Lord inflicted serious disease on the Pharaoh and his household because of Abram's wife Sarai. How they blamed the woman, even though it was Abram's fucking idea to lie. And then the Lord, who should have known that Abram told her to lie, punishes the Pharaoh. Make that make sense? As a youth would say now, make that make sense, because it doesn't make sense, right? If I'm an all-knowing being, I'm gonna be like, this nigga, sorry, I'm Hispanic, I'm not white, so I can say this Abram, he's a liar and he's sinning, right? Because lying is a sin or something, even though somewhere in this Bible it says that all men lie. So anyway, he should have known that the Pharaoh was innocent because he was lied to, you know? Sorry, I'm so ghetto. Where were we? The call of Abram. The Lord tells Abram to leave his homeland to another land. God, spell, prayer. Yeah, I already told you about the spell / prayer. Abram in Egypt. He asked his wife Sarai to lie for him. Yep, we already did that. Make it make sense, you guys. So page 11. Because of Sarai, Abram's lie, Abram was treated well, given sheep, cattle, donkey, females, servants, and camels by the leader, whatever, in Egypt, for Pharaoh, until the Lord punished the Pharaoh. So the Egyptian ruler kicked them out for lying to him. Yeah, he figures it out that he's being punished for taking somebody else's wife, even though he was lied to. So whatever. Abram and Lot separate. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold. Now Lot, who was moving about Abram, also had flocks and herds and tenants, but the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. And quarreling, fighting or arguing, arose between Abram's herdsmen and the herdsmen of Lot. Okay, so they separate. That's the point. Let's move it along. I feel like there's something on my face, like little hairs or something. Like, oh, I don't know. I need to wash my brushes, my makeup brushes. Anyway, the Lord is not separate. Okay, I'm just gonna read what I wrote because that'll be faster. So I already said they become wealthy. They start to argue, and so did their herdsmen. So Abram decided they should go in opposite direction to different lands. So Lot chose the plains of Jordan because it was like a well-watered garden. Abram lived in Canaan while Lot went east near Sodom, where men were singing against the Lord. The Lord tells Abram after Lot departs to spread out through the land and breed. So Abram moved his tents to Morgue, some land with an M, at Hebron, where he built another altar for the Lord. Then we move on to Genesis 14:8, line number 14. A bunch of kings joined forces to fight one another. Some names. After being subjected to 12 years. After being his subjects for 12 years, 4 kings against 5 drew battle lines in the land of Siddim. Lot was kidnapped, caught in between the battle because he was living near Sodom. So he was just basically caught in the battle of kings for land and same OBS. So he was taken, and so were his possessions. This angle is freaking terrible. I'm starting to get annoyed. Okay. So yeah, he gets kidnapped. A man that saw what happened told Abram that his relative was captive. I don't know how they knew they were related. I guess it was not that far and people knew each other. I don't know. That doesn't make sense, but okay. And he told Abram that his relative was the captive. So Abram gathered 318 trained men to go rescue Lot, other captives, and his belongings. Now in Genesis 14:9, line number 17, after Abram and his men defeated Kedorlaomer, the kings allied with him, and the king of Sodom came to meet him in the valley of Shiva, the king's valley. The king of Sodom tells Abram to give him the people and keep the goods, but Abraham doesn't accept the goods, but he actually lets some of his men keep the goods. So yeah, they do keep some of them. It's in the Bible. I just didn't write it. God's covenant. God promises Abram's children, but they will be enslaved before they can have great possessions. That's what God tells Abram. Abram offers the Lord animal sacrifices, cutting them in half. This is a ritual. This is witchcraft in the Bible. Cutting them in half. In a dream, the Lord speaks to him and tells him to count the stars. Sorry. The stars represent the many children he will have. How many stars were back then? Probably a lot. The Lord promises to give Abram descendants the land from the river of Egypt to the great river, or something like that, the Euphrates, and many lands. Hagar and Ishmael. We're moving on. I don't even know what page I'm in anymore. Abram rescues Lot. We already did that. So yeah, we're just gonna go to page 13. I'm almost done. I'm so sorry. This video is too long. If you like long videos, let me know in the comments. Also, you can give this video a thumbs up. Check out the description box and all that good stuff. I think I'm on page 12. Genesis 14:9. Did I say where I was? I usually write it down next to my notes. Yeah, Genesis 14:9, 17. After Abraham returned from defeating the king of Sodom. Yeah. Abram gave him a tenth of every. Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything. The king of Sodom said to Abram, "Give yourself. Give me the people, like they're his property or something, and keep the goods for yourself." But Abram said to the king of Sodom, "I have raised my hand to the Lord, God the Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and have taken an oath that I will accept nothing belonging to you, because I'm too good for you." Just kidding. That's not what he said. "I will take nothing belonging to you, not even thread or thong of sandal, so that you will never be able to say, 'I made Abram rich.'" But the Pharaoh did, didn't he? By lying. "I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten, and the share that belongs to the men who went with me," which was 316 men, "to Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre, I don't know how to say that. Let them have their share." Okay. Anyways, after this, God's covenant with Abram. After this, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." Your very great reward. You could also use that. Put that in your in your manifestations, in your little what's it called? Affirmations. Yeah, use it. Line 4. Then the word of the Lord came to him. "This man will not be your heir." Oh, he's talking about a servant, because Abram thought since his wife can't have children after the Pharaoh did her, she's barren, so it doesn't matter, I guess, because she's barren. So he could share her, and the Lord was fine with it. Not very holy to me, but okay. For some, I'm getting like, I don't know if you guys feel this, but like men have superiority in this book, and even God is very much like a man, right? Not very like divine and like all-knowing and and like justice and fair and loving. He's just like a man who favors men and doesn't seem to know when people are lying or hiding. So it's interesting. I don't know if you noticed, but I've noticed. Anyways, so speaking to Abram again, he says, "This man will not be your heir, but a son coming from your own body will be your heir." Oh, I remember. "Look at the heavens and count the stars, if indeed you can count them." Ooh, he called them stupid. "So shall your offspring be." He also said to him, "I am the Lord who brought you out of the Chaldeans to give you this land, to take possession of it." It's gonna get way worse. I can feel it. So the Lord said to him, "Bring me a heifer, a goat, a ram, each 3 years old, along with a dove and a young pigeon." So yeah, the Lord actually tells him that he's gonna have to sacrifice animals for him to get his sons and stuff. And you know who's gonna give him his sons? The servant of his wife. Yes. The feminists are screaming and quaking right now. The feminine rage is building. Sorry. Yes. Get angry. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not just. But yes, nevertheless, we will continue. Page 12, line 12. "As the sun was setting, Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a thick and dreadful darkness came over him." A thick and dreadful darkness came over him. Okay? And then the Lord said to him, "Know for certain that your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and they will be enslaved and mistreated for hundreds of years." Would you want to have children if you knew that this is going to happen for hundreds of years? Because I don't know. The math isn't mathing. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, and afterward they will come out with great possessions. Great possessions. Sounds like something Satan would say. You, however, will go to your fathers in peace and be buried at a good old age. In the 4th generation, your descendants will come back here, for the sin of the Amorites has not yet reached its full measure. He wanted more sin, more evil done before he brought down the wrath of the God of the Bible. I don't know. I can't believe people. I don't think people read this because it's like, whoa. Let's continue. Line 18, page 13. On that day, the Lord made the covenant with Abram and said, quote, to your descendants I give this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river of Euphrates, and the land of the Kenites, Kenizzites, Kadmonites, Hittites, a bunch of names I can't pronounce. Okay, line 16, Hagar and Ishmael. I'm going to read what I quoted. The Lord has kept me from having children. Go to sleep with my maidservant. Perhaps I can build a family through her. That's Sarai speaking, Abram's wife. Then we move down. You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. This is Sarai to Abram. I put my servant in your arms, and now that she knows she is pregnant, she despises me. Yeah, she wants to replace you because your husband is fucking her. That ain't right. That ain't right, is it? So shit is gonna hit the fan because you're not doing righteous behavior. Anyways, sorry. I put my servant in your arms, and now that she knows she's pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me. This was the Lord's idea. He made this happen. Captain. Abram says to her, the servant is in your hands. Do with her whatever you think is best. Then Sarai mistreats Hagar, the servant, so she fled from her. Okay, while pregnant, she flees from her. Please, runs away. Line 7, page 13. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was the spring that is beside the road of Shur. And he said, Hagar, servant of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going? So the Lord sent an angel to find the runaway, abused servant. Okay? She tells him that she's running away because she has been mistreated. And then the angel of the Lord told her, go back to your mistress and submit to her. Submit, you peasant. Horrible advice. The angel added, I will so increase your descendants that they will be too numerous to count. The angel of the Lord also said to her, you are now with child, and you will have a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility towards all his brothers. Woo! Don't you just want to have that baby right away? Anyway, let's move on. The covenant of circumcision. Oh, I can't wait. So, that is where we leave off. The covenant of circumcision. Perfect place to stop because I think I've had enough. Lord have mercy, as they say. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have your own Bible. I hope you are reading this with an open mind. I am so sorry if you have been raised in religion like I was, and you are making a lot of decisions that are not making are not for your highest good. Because when you are in a religion, in a cult, especially as a feminine or a female, you are expected to submit to abuse, as we have seen in this book. And we are very very early into the story, so it's gonna get way worse. I've heard that this is probably one of the most, how do I say it, abusive, just one of the craziest stories ever, which is why it's so popular, the Bible. There's just a lot of contradiction as well, and inequality, obviously, and yeah, I just feel bad for all the feminine. I feel bad for all the boys, the young boys that are being raised to think of the female as their subordinate who has to be obedient, when women are like the birth givers. We have birthed everyone on this planet, and we get treated like we are beneath man, and that is just not true. And a lot of people are waking up to that fact that women are the ones who create life, and therefore it is very illogical to think that there's a man in the sky who created life all by himself, according to the church, when in the Bible itself it says let us and them, and there's multiple beings that are involved in the creation of humanity. And yeah, it's just so much that was left out of this book as well. Mistranslations, a lot of metaphors, obviously written by men with an agenda, because a lot of things were left out as well. And I'm not saying God is a woman at all. I'm saying that the Most High, or the creator of everything, is not a man, probably not a woman, probably not human like us at all. More likely, like, I would be shocked if its original form was us. Like, no. People will say, well, he made us in our image. Well, he also made cats, and he made fish, and he made whales, and he made reptiles, and they're not in his image. So he could have very easily, or they could have, I prefer they, because I feel like the source is feminine and masculine energy. It is not one being, it is not one thing. That's what it says, let us, in many of the texts. But yeah, I don't believe it's woman or male. It's both energies, and it's energy. It's like, you know, like your soul, you can't see that, but it exists, right? If you believe in a higher power, because a lot of people, thanks to the church, do not believe in a higher power, because like the LGBTQ community, they get so much hate and stuff. And anyway, I'm just trying to help out by reading this with you guys, and hopefully some of you will wake up, because that is the point of this, to wake you up that this book is from this world, and everything of this world is not the ultimate truth. It is not the end all be all, because it is of this world. It is man-made. There's no way that somebody could have been there when God was talking. There's no way that we could have the words of anybody in a factual way, because people lie. Okay? So please don't take this too seriously. I love you all so much. I hope you love yourself, because that is so important. I wish that all of humanity will find love within themselves. The kingdom of heaven is within you, as Jesus Christ himself said in a text that was denied from the Bible. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope that you find peace within yourself and release yourself from the chains and the bondage of religion, and know that you don't have to be religious to believe in a higher power. You are not alone. God is within you. Goddess is within you, whatever you want to call it. Just know that it's not the God of this Bible. It's a higher power, a divine power that does not crucify or judge people like this man-made God does. If that makes sense. Okay. Sorry it was so long.